since 3 entire people decided to subscribe to my channel despite it having no content, I have elected to reward you with a video. And since I have no other ideas immediately available, I've decided I'm going to talk about the Superman movie that just came out. I watched it yesterday. Don't worry about how. Drink up me hearties, yo ho. And it's fantastic. Great movie. Loved it all the way to death. It was awesome. And so I'm going to gush about it for a few minutes. To discuss the cast, who all did a great job, the characters, the plot, how it looked. I'm going to talk about the movie. I liked the movie. This is your spoiler warning. I am not responsible for you getting spoiled. This is not on me. Spoiler warning. I'm going to talk about the movie. So, first thing to talk about, the cast. The cast did an excellent job. David Corenswet is excellent as Superman. I was a little iffy at first. I thought he wasn't buff looking enough, but no, crushed it. What was her name? Damn it. I had the cast pulled up. I had an idea I was going to have the cast handy so I could look at them and tell you their names, but then I closed it before I started recording because I'm mildly dumb. Don't worry about it. Superman cast is coming up. There we go. Rachel Brosnahan, that's her name. Lois Lane, she did a great job as well. She was in your face. I'm here for the news. The people have a right to know. She did great. Nicholas Hoult absolutely crushed as Lex Luthor. Loved him to death. Nathan Fillion, my boy Captain Reynolds, playing Guy fucking Gardner in his on-screen debut. How beautiful is that? Guy Gardner does not get anywhere near enough love outside the comic books, and it's awesome. Isabella Merced? I don't know her, but she did a great job as Hawkgirl. Well, they could have given her more to do. I could have used a little more Hawkgirl. I could have done with a bit more Hawkgirl. But she did fine. I'll give the spoiler warning, right? I loved when she dropped the president of Bravia. That was great. She's flying along with him, and he's all like, "Oh, you're friends with Superman. I'll be fine." And she goes, "Nah, bitch, I'm from Thanagar." She drops it. That was great. The Hawk people, war crimes are foreplay. If you think I'm kidding, ask the Iranians. Let's see, Bradley Cooper was apparently Jor-El. Missed that. The engineer was fine. Sarah Sampaio as Eve, who is apparently credited here as Eve Tessmacher. That was Miss Tessmacher. That's great. Frank Grillo showed up. Jimmy Olsen. Doing Jimmy Olsen things was a lot of fun. Tony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. Yeah, see, this is the kind of comic book nerd I am. I like the weird shit. I like the obscure, niche characters. Okay, I like Swamp Thing. I like Constantine. I like Blue Devil. I like Detective Chimp, Etrigan the Demon. I like the weird shit. So when Metamorpho showed up, yes, give me the weirdo gas man. Hell yeah, that was great. Edie Gathby, Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is another one of those characters I love who does not get enough love. He was great. He did a cool job. The Kents. I loved the Kents. Ma and Pa Kent, present and fucking accounted for. It was beautiful. Crushed it. Wendell Pierce. I took one look at Perry White and I said, shit, even though I know it's the wrong character. But yes, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Wendell Pierce played Detective Bunk on The Wire, one of my favorite characters. If you haven't seen The Wire, go watch The Wire. What the hell is wrong with you? It's a great show. Can you think of another show with the where a city is one of the main characters? The Penguin. The Penguin. That's another good one. They managed to make Gotham one of the characters, and that was a nice touch. And then, of course, he's around. You see him. You don't worry about it. Mr. Terrence Rosemore, though, I want to shout him out because when they finally do say his name, it's Otis. Otis and Miss Tessmacher and a good fucking Lex Luthor. I see you, James Gunn. This is how you do fan service. You don't make a big deal out of it. You just do it and let it be there for the fans to enjoy. Loved it. That was all great. So the cast, stellar, crushed it. Nathan Fillion, I already said him. I meant Alan Tudyk as the Superman robots. Love Alan Tudyk. He's always a gas. Yeah, the cast, 10 out of 10, no notes. Everyone crushed it. And the characters they played were all perfectly understandable. It's look, it's the characters from the comics. It's waha. It's Superman, and it's Perry White, and Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen, and they are their characters, right? All too often in big budget Hollywood superhero adaptations, they'll be all, oh, well, we went with a different direction for the character. We thought we would reinvent. No, stop that. This is I'm gonna rant. That's what this video is. This is me ranting. You subscribed to me. You clicked on the video. This is your own damn fault for hearing it. But when adapting something, right, it is vital to find out why people like it. You see, so that when you make your version, you don't leave out the stuff that people like. Yeah? And so, I'm gonna save myself some time here. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is, get fucked, Zack Snyder. I'd suck a giant wang. This is how you make a Superman movie. It's bright, it's colorful, it's hopeful. He's Superman. He's supposed to make you feel better, because he's Superman. Superman's here to save the day. Everything's going to be fine. That's how that's supposed to work. And so I love it to death. It was really, really good. Can you tell I have a strong opinion about this film? Costumes were great. More or less. Superman's got his undies back. That's you may not think it matters, but it matters. Great YouTube channel called Thought Slime has a whole video about why Superman needs to have his little undies, and Thought Slime is absolutely correct. Go watch Thought Slime. Way better channel than mine. Mildo's got a clue what they're doing. Like, go watch Thought Slime. Specifically the video about Superman's panties, but like, yeah, shout them out. But no, he's got the trunks, looking like Superman. That was great. I don't know how I feel about the updated S. It's fine. It's recognizably Superman. No, not a bad thing. Doesn't matter. This is probably just a me problem, because I've got the theme song sequence from the Bruce Timm show from the 90s embedded in my head, and so that's the S for me, but whatever. Got his panties back? Hell yes. The panties are important. Superman wears the trunks. We keep the panties. Hawker looked great. Mr. Terrific looked fucking fantabulous. Metamorpho looked great. The Superman robots were cool. I can understand where someone would criticize Krypto's appearance as being obviously artificial. That being said, I dare you to come up with a way to make an actual dog behave the way you need him to while play. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some good dog actors, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was his name? The dog from The Thing, the one that went walking down the hallway. Much as I love Kurt Russell, like, that dog's the best actor in that damn movie. Dog from The Thing. Yeah, Jed the Malamute. Yeah. Jed the Malamute. Like, not even Jed, okay, can give you the kind of performance you need to convincingly play Crypto. So there's no way they could have had a real dog playing Crypto. He would have had to have been animated the whole time. He looks fine. Crypto looks fine. And more importantly, Crypto the motherfucking super dog is in a live-action movie and is and shall remain the best boy. Crypto's the best boy. Crypto wins. Fight me. Hell yes, Crypto. Nathan Fillion doing the Guy Gardner thing with comic accurate bowl cut. Loved it. Maybe a little too much white in his costume, but I ain't worried about it. I got a little nitpicky about the Fortress of Solitude. Inside looks fine. Superman robots look fine. Doing a Superman robot thing, that's all great. The outside of the Fortress of Solitude didn't look as, I don't know, didn't quite do it for me. Like, I saw what they were going for, right? It was like a modern iteration on the Christopher Reeves interlacing crystals thing. I get that. That's fine. What I'm not as sold on is that it grows up out of the ground every time he approaches. That seems unnecessarily complicated, right? Like, what kind of multi-dimensional hyperspace folding it hides its what? No, you don't need to do that. What? Just carve it into a glacier. You know what I mean? Like, you got options here. It's a building. It's not a spaceship or a portal. It's Superman's house. So yeah, were it me, I would have had it underground in a glacier and have all the cool crystal stuff being like the inside walls. So like, were it me, I'd have the inside of the Fortress of Solitude looking like you were standing in a geode, is how I'd have got down. But nobody asked me, because who gives a shit? And the movie's out now anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it looks more or less fine. And by the way, those are about my only two serious criticisms of the film. Is they changed the S for whatever reason, and the Fortress of Solitude, it seems like they might have been doing a little bit too much with having it spawn every time Cal shows up. I don't know if when the engineer, Lex Luthor's evil sci-fi nanotech lady, finds the Fortress of Solitude, she says, I'm almost certain I heard this right, she says she's in Antarctica. Now, this doesn't actually matter, but that's the wrong end of the planet, y'all. Fortress of Solitude is up at the North Pole. It's, side note, by the way, for those of you playing the home game, Arctic means there's bears there, and Antarctic actually means no bears. And what's really funny is they named it that way because of the constellations. You can see the Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the Great Bear and the Minor Bear constellations from up north, and you can't see them from the South Pole because the rest of the planet's in the way. So bears, no bears, and then we actually sent people up that way, and it turns out that in the Arctic, the bear part, there are in fact bears. There's polar bears. And then we went to the Antarctic, and it turns out no bears. So actually somehow they got that named, and perfect. The Greeks named that perfect. Arctic bears. There are indeed bears. Antarctic, no bears. Clean. But anyway, Fortress of Solitude, north, not south. I don't know why they changed that. That seems unnecessary. Plot-wise, it's a Superman tale. It's emphatically not an origin story, for which may all gods above and below be praised. Stop it with the origin stories. Stop it. You hear me, Hollywood? Stop it. No, we know who Superman is. We know who Batman is. We know who Spider-Man is. Stop it. We know. Now, you want to give me a Swamp Thing movie? Yeah, okay. A good Swamp Thing movie. But you don't. It doesn't need to be an origin story, and so it's not, and that's excellent. Superman been running around doing his thing for about 3 years, and Lex Luthor is salty about it. Because of course he is. He's Lex Luthor. Not only is he actually trying to take over the world, because, you know, he's a billionaire, and that's what they do, but he's so petty and ego about it. Because, you see, the reason Lex hates Superman is that Lex is convinced on a moral, spiritual level that he is best boy, that he is the smartest, most coolest, sexiest God's gift to creation. Because, duh, I'm Lex Luthor. And then this fucking E.T. with a Kansas accent is stealing up all my press? No. And then he's got the balls to interfere in my plans for world domination? No, he's got to die. He must. I don't know what anyone else. What else anyone expects me to do about it? Superman must die because I, Lex Luthor, have said so. And so he's taking steps to that effect. It's a lot of fun to watch, anyway. The kaiju fight was a lot of fun because when they could have done with a little connective tissue, like Otis and his buddy release the little reptile gremlin into the city, and then we cut to the next day and there's a kaiju terrorizing Metropolis, and that's all fine. We could have had another scene in between there, you know what I'm saying, where like you see the critter running around eating stuff, getting bigger, maybe I don't know, bites a cop or something, make it useful. And but the kaiju fight was a lot of fun. Superman trying to capture the beast humanely is an incredibly Superman thing to do, as well as saving literally everyone, including the squirrel. Saving the squirrel. I saw someone bitching about Superman saving the squirrel. Of course he's gonna save the squirrel. He's Superman. He saves people. He's literally, like... What's one of the very first things we saw Superman do in the original Chris Reeves Superman movie? He saved a cat from a tree because he's Superman, and that's the kind of shit Superman do. Superman saved the squirrel. Of course he saw the squirrel and heard the squirrel and knew it. He's Superman. He sees and hears everything that's going on around him because Superman's OP. So yeah, he's gonna use his super speed to save the squirrel. And it is good that he saved the squirrel, because actions inform character. And it is relevant that Superman is the kind of character that would go out of his way to save the squirrel. Kaiju fight was great. I also loved when Superman, he's all bummed out because everyone's mad at him about the invasion thing, and he's hiding out and he's chilling with Lois, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm upset," because, you know, fair enough. And you see the big tentacle critter floating out the window behind him, and it's all glowy, and you can see Mr. Terrific's beams from his drones hitting it, and you can see Guy Gardner spawning a big old green baseball bat, and she's like, "Should you go maybe deal with that?" He's like, "Nah, they got it." That was fun. I liked that. No, it was a great movie. It was awesome. And anyone complaining about the Superman movie didn't watch it or is being disingenuous. I just good fucking movie, man. Superman from 2025. Good movie. Glad they made it. Happy I saw it. I'm gonna watch it again after the perfectly legitimate website I viewed it on has a better copy. And yeah, this has been my thoughts on Superman, and I have inflicted it on the wider internet as a consequence of somehow acquiring a whole 3 subscribers. So, thank you for watching. Depending on how this goes, I might do something else. I might do the similar kind of thing. I don't know. Here's a thought. If you decide that you have an idea about what I should do next, maybe put it in a comment. Just a thought. I have no plan for this channel, you see. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. So, toss out some suggestions. You know, do you want me to tell you a joke? Do you want me to review other movies? Do you want me to talk about books, D&D? I like board games. You know, you got ideas? Let's hear them. Not saying I'll do them. I'll read them. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I have been the Uber Spanker, and we'll see you next time.